Please.
So, thank you, Lou, for the introduction. I'd like to speak about translation this morning through the ENATRANS project. It's a CSA project funded by the European Commission. And what I liked in this session is bringing pieces together for getting the big picture of nanomedicine. So maybe we will start smoothly in this presentation with a short reminder about translation. Translation is a move from A to B. So basically, it's a team pushing a technology on a specific field in a frame toward a goal. And that is happening with a set of rules, with infrastructures, and for the benefit of users, of supporters, and sponsors. So that's maybe an actual analogy of translation, but this is not a single effort. You have to reproduce that several times in order to pass through different steps and phases from preclinical, phase 1, phase 2, and so on, in a competitive environment to go to the final goal. But when you got this final goal, it's only for 4 years, then it starts again. So reaching the final goal is not the ultimate goal. Based on that, what is making the success of a team and the ecosystem, the environment in which the team is playing has a great importance. It builds links with a lot of different stakeholders, but all the stakeholders are also linked together. So for a football team, you have young talents, technical staff, agents, supporters, sponsors, media, federations, but one of the central role is played by the trainer. And that's what we, in the ENATRANS project, want to support, is this trainer role, the coaching role. So the transition to the nanomedicine ecosystem is quite easy. You have quite the same scale or scope of stakeholders. Everyone playing his role and being in close relation with the team and the technology to be developed. And that's why we put an emphasis on this coaching role with a service that we are providing to development and to development teams with the TAB, the Translation Advisory Board, to support translation. So the mission of the TAB is actually to provide strategic advice, support, to formulate recommendations in order to guide and promote the translation within SMEs and within research institutes that are aiming at developing products toward the market. So basically, it's a board of experts from industry, from clinics, also from research, but who already did translation in a successful, or maybe not, but in a way that they experience that and they can provide their own personal experience. So we selected the expert in the way that all the different categories are covered by the experts, so in technical expertise, of course, but also expertise in marketing, in regulation, approval, quality assurance, manufacturing, clinical trials, IP, and so on. And who can benefit from that is actually any project in nanomedicine, well, in Europe because it's a European project, but responding to a certain set of criteria that we are. Oops. Excuse.
Yes, she's working on it. Sorry, just technical difficulty.
There's, yeah. Okay. So we go through translation again. Yeah, that's what. So any project in nanomedicine can benefit from this service, as I said, responding to a certain set of criteria that we are asking in the application form. It's a service that is free of charge, so anyone could benefit from it. There's no barrier here from this side. In practice, the advice is divided in different stages. The first one is stage 0 with the application, so it's continuous application. We have certain cutoff dates to select the project and to offer them stage 1, meaning face-to-face meeting with the experts in 2 hours sessions. We have one actually today in Basel. The next one will be in Heraklion in October. But what is really important, it's not only a single advice. It's actually more a continuous coaching through several months, so that it's really a relationship that is built between the experts and the technology developers. So that's something we had to change actually in the course of the project, because it was planned actually to have one session and then that's it. But we thought it was much more productive and interesting for the technology developers to have this midterm, I would say, midterm perspective. So we actually already had some sessions, so face-to-face meetings, the experts and the beneficiaries. The first session was held in Dublin last October with 23 applications and at the end 10 face-to-face meetings through the first selection process, and 8 experts giving these advices. The second session, as I said, is today with 19 applications altogether and 9 face-to-face meetings and the involvement of 7 experts. And the next session with cutoff date on the 31st of July will be in Heraklion during the TPN annual event in October. So it will be the 14th of October. So we have some good feedback actually from the people attending this kind of sessions. For instance, Christopher Scott from the Queen's University Belfast stating that having this session with the experts allowed him to develop a pathway for clinical developments for his molecule. Or Anna Cadet said that it powered ideas into real projects. Or Joao Ferreira mentioned that it allowed him to better structure the next steps. So it's really about concrete advices, how to push the project and the technology they have towards preclinical validation and clinical phases. So the tab is actually our core instrument to provide services to SMEs and to research institutes, but we have also some pre-tab activities with networking, building communities, brokerage, elaborating projects together. We have a specific set of activities for SMEs, so peer-to-peer advices. We have an info center. I would show you some things. So it's all a collection of information that is required to go through translation process. And we have some activities in education and training, so webinars and so on. Interesting is also the post-tab activities, I would say. So the tab experts are providing advice, but also they're individual and personal access to clinics. There's some activity to showcase the best TAB cases toward industry and investors, so making the link with the stakeholders for the next steps. And access to accelerator, that's currently under development, but it's a kind of incubator for nanomedicine developers, so they can have access to additional funds and resources to develop their activities. And a set of dissemination activities, mostly to increase awareness toward doctors, toward the community, but also toward the public with since 3 years now, the Nano World Conseil Days, the Nanomed Awards, and this kind of activities. So some resources. This collection of information, for instance, is available on our website under the ecosystem part. So there you will find the different steps, the different contacts, the different directives that are directly in relation with the translation of nanomedical product. So I kindly invite you to have a check on the ENATRANS.eu website. For the tab, the Translation Advisory Board, we have a specific website where you can also apply. It's a summary what ENATRANS offers with networking activities enabling, leveraging for different kind of stakeholders. And that's it, actually. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions? Yes, Avi?
Are these projects open to people from all over Europe and also affiliated countries?
Well, that's open to EU, to countries in the EU, but also to associated countries, yes. Yeah. Yes?
So how do you deal with confidentiality?
That's a big point, actually. The experts are thoroughly selected first to avoid conflict of interest. So